Now we have configured the main configuration file, and now what we need, we have to create these files, because these files are not exist, so we will create these files in the database directory. So I will save it here, and then I will go to the database directory for the DNS, that is var name. Now here when you check, we have these files, and in these files we have this, we have seen this file already, that is having a root in servers information, and this file is having the information about the forward lookup zone default. This is for the reverse lookup zone file for the default reverse lookup zone database. Now we want to create our file same as this, configuration same as this, and permission also same as this. Permission, as you can see, for security only root user, the owner has only write permission, and group owner has only read. Who is the owner? Root is the owner, and owner can only write, and the group owner, that is the named user, named group, and this is our DNS server group and our service group, and this is only having the read permission. So for security reason, when we create our file, also we will create it as a same configuration, same permission. Same configurations, that means I will show you the file there. This is our forward zone default file, and just like this configuration, we want our configuration also, and we will add our records also. So what I will do here, I want same permission, same configuration format. So what I will do, I will just copy the files. So I will copy with P option to copy with the same permission. So I will use this file as a forward zone file. So my forward zone file, the name of the file is this. I have mentioned the name into the configuration file, so I'm going to use this. Then I will make reverse zone file, and reverse zone file will be like this, loopback, and I have mentioned the name.rev in this main configuration file. Now when I copy this, now you can see the file is created here, copied, and you can see it is having the same permission because we have used the P option. So this is my forward and this is my reverse zone file. Now what I will do, I will create record in those files. So let's create it. First I will go to forward zone file. Now it is in the same database, the default format. So I will add these records here. First it is the time to leave option, it is there, which is 1 day. It is enough, so I will leave it as it is. It is for the caching. So caching will be cleared in 1 day. Now here I will add the SOA record. SOA server name. SOA is startup authority server, and we have only one server. The server name is server.example.com. Then here you have to add the responsible person email. That means your DNS admin email address. So our DNS admin is root. So I will add root at server.example.com. But in this file you should not add at. Instead of at, we have to add dot, and the email format will be like this. Now these are the other options there, other features there. You can change these options. The serial number is to update the two DNS servers. Like when two DNS servers talk to each other for new records, they will talk with this serial number. Suppose one server has 1 and other servers has 2. So when they communicate to each other, so the server which is having 1 serial number, it will ask to the other server that you have the new records and please pass on the records to me. So the other server will do the zone transfer on port number 53 of TCP. Other than queries will happen on port number 53 of UDP. This refresh option is for the caching. This retry will be to update the record from other server. This record will be expire after 1 week, and it will refresh after minimum 3 hours. We can change these timing options. I'm using it as default. Now here I will add name server, record for the name server. Now I have only one server, so I will mention the name for that server here. This is my name server. Now after that you will add all the records, all the A records. A records, that means whatever the name to IP records we have. Now first I have mentioned everywhere name of the server, but I have not mentioned the IP of this server also. So first I will mention the IP of this server, and that is server internet A record, and the IP of this server is 192.168.1.1. Then you will mention all the other records. Not having dynamic updates, so we will make these records manually. Client, and this one is having 192.168.15. Then you can create all the other records. If you have, I'm creating these records like 16, 17, like this. So all records we will create like this, and after that this forward zone file is done, so I will save it. And now I will configure the reverse zone file. So this is my reverse zone file, and we have copied it from the sample file, so it is having the same format. So I will change the same options here first. So SOA record, mail server, name server. Now here in reverse zone file, always when you mention the name, end it with dot. This is important here, to end the name with dot. If we miss this dot, then it will get a problem. It will give a problem and it will get error. Now here we will mention the IP to name. Now for mentioning the IP, we have already mentioned first three parts in the main zone configuration. Like the network, we have 192.168.1. So I have mentioned the network in that zone configuration. Here I will mention the host part, that is 12. This is the PTR record for server dot. Then we have other machine 15. 15 means 192.168.1.15, and this is the PTR record of the client machine. Dot. Remember, I am ending with dot. Then we have other records. Dot. Dot. Just like this, I will add all the other records, all the reverse zone records here. Now we are done with this file also, so I will save the configuration, and now our configurations are done and I can restart my service. So for restarting the service, I will run command system ctl. I will start the service named. Now if it is started properly without any error, that means we have configured everything properly. If we have missed any dot, colon, semicolon, anything, then you will get error and service will not start. We can check by the status of the service, and we can see it is saying active and running properly. It is active and running properly, and here some errors are there, but these errors are for the root hint server, because I'm not connected to internet, so it is not able to resolve those root hint servers and all, and some of the DNS security keys. But the service is running. But whenever we start the service first time, we have to make sure that we give enable command also, so that the service will also may become default. Now whenever my machine will restart, it will also start with this server. Now we will check, is it working or not. Now we have NSLOOKUP command also available in Linux, which we have only on Windows. We have only on Windows. We have only NSLOOKUP command to check the DNS records. Here we have another command which is called dig. This dig will not work in Windows machines. So I will give dig, and I will use this dig to verify the forward and lookup zone. But first we have to mention the name, number, IP of our DNS server to this machine, and all over the machine, all over the clients, we have to mention the DNS server IP. So let's check this first. nmcli device show. So which is the DNS server IP? So I have already configured the DNS server IP. This is the one, and this is itself, this server's IP is also the same DNS server, because this server is the DNS server right now. Now we can check. So I will use dig command, and then dig command is to check the forward lookup zone. server.example.com, and now I am getting the answer. You can see I query 1, I get answer 1. What was the query? The query was, the question was for this name. It's a record, and the answer is this, that this machine is having this IP. And authority section, you can see who is the authority server, name server. This is the name server. Just like this, we can resolve other name also. Client, we have other names like XP1, and we can see it is resolving those names. Now forward zone is working. Now we want to check the reverse zone. So for that we will give dig-x. Reverse zone means IP to name. So I will mention the IP, and server should have to give me the name. So what it is giving me here, it is saying that this is PTR record, and the record for this IP is, answer for this IP is this name, and this is the name server who is answering it. Same, I can go for other IPs. This is client, this is XP1, and this is XP2. So now our DNS server is working, and it is giving answers, and it is working properly. Now we will check from client. So I'll go to this client machine now. Now all the client machine must know the DNS server IP. So whatever the client we have in our domain, they must know IP address of our DNS server. So let's check, and we can see now this machine also knows the DNS server IP. So it can go and ask for that DNS. So I will use dig command for that. Dig, and I want to resolve the server name here. Now here I am not getting the answer because of the firewall. Remember, firewall is running and it is not allowing DNS. So whenever you configure the DNS, you have to allow the firewall also. You can see here it is saying timeout, no server could be reached. This is because of firewall. So after configuring the DNS, you have to make sure the firewall is also allowing it. So I will add the service here. The service name is DNS, and I'm going to add it permanently. And then I will restart the firewall. So I will reload the firewall. Now it is allowing the DNS also, and anyone can send the request and it will work. So now again I will try to dig, and now we can get the answer. Forward zone answer, we can check the machine name here, and we are getting the answer properly. We can verify the reverse zone also by using -x option. And we are getting the answer also. So our forward zone, reverse zone, both are properly working. Firewall is allowing it, and it is everything is working properly. Remember, if you make any mistake, then the service will not start and you will feel the problem. For example, I will show you. Suppose I have told you that in the reverse zone file, this is my reverse zone file, and I have told you that you have to end it with dot. So for example, I remove one dot from here. Now see what happens. Now I will try to restart the service again. It is already running, but when I try to restart it, it gives me error. It gives me error because we have a problem there. Now when you check the status, you see it says failed. Why it's failed? You can see the error here. It says something, but it is not verified. You know, it is not properly answer what happens, and this output is cutting here. So we can do what? We can give -L to see the full output. And it is saying here that this zone of this server in ARPA has no address record. It is saying that there is no address record there, but it is not the case. You can do what? We can also use one more command. Check config. This command is to check the configuration file whether we have any configuration problem. So we can use check config and configuration file name to check any error. If there is no error, then we can check the zone file. For checking the zone files, we have to use check zone command with the domain name. So I want to check this domain file, and the file is here under this database directory, and this is my forward zone file. So when I check, it says it is okay. So that means the file is okay. Now I will check the reverse zone file. Now here it is saying error, and it is saying that this NS server has no address record, and this is only because of that dot. So what we'll do, don't make that mistake. So what I will do now, I will go to the file and I will add that dot again, and I save. Now when I check again with this check config command, check zone, it is okay now. And now when I restart the service, it will start and work. It is started without error and it will work. So when you check the status, it says here that it is running. So this is the way you configure the DNS and you can start the service. This is our DNS server implementation of using bind in our RHEL 7.